Welcome, friends. Welcome to the 119th episode of Strawberry Patches podcast. My name is Marina, and I'm coming to you from the sunny Auckland, New Zealand, where I will chat to you a lot about fibre and spinning today. Last week, me and my daughter made an episode which was like a little teaser because I haven't podcasted in months, and I promised that there will be more coming. Especially this one is focused a lot on some of the things I have in the shop, like fibre, and a lot will be about spinning, acquisitions, and some sewing projects. So thank you so much for all of your lovely comments. It was so lovely to hear that you liked my little daughter, who is only 7, but she has dyed her own yarn. And you were very kind telling her all of the things, how you liked her being on this podcast. If you haven't seen that video, it's just the previous podcast. You can go and check it out. So welcome everyone. Everybody's welcome, no matter what age, where you're from, what are you doing in life. I just wanted to say I'm happy to see you here. Well, to read your comments and to know where you're from. So if you feel like telling me where you're watching from, what you're working on, please do. That'll be super cool. And today I don't have my sweet Lydia with me because she is at school. But I have lots of fibre friends. And she does want to come back. Sometimes she will. And very soon, I hope. Yeah, I forgot to say where you can find me. So I'm MarinaToys on Ravelry. I'm also MarinaToys and Marina Hoja and Strawberry Patches on Instagram, as you can see on the screen. And as you might know, I have strawberrypatches.nz wool shop where I sell all my hand-dyed yarn, some project bags that are made that I order from a friend of mine who doesn't have a website. I kind of just help her sell her bags, and that's me. That's where you can find me. It's so exciting to be chatting with you again. Now that the school holidays are over here in New Zealand, I have a bit more free time to myself to do what I love doing. And namely, I've been dyeing a lot of haunui fibre. So there will be a lot of haunui talk again from me, the haunui-holic, as I call myself. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Also, I will be inviting you to Wool Fest, which will happen in Auckland in just a month. And also I will be telling you finally about the yarn advent that we have this year. So yeah, kind of set up the plan for this podcast, for this video. Let's see how we go. Okay, I usually start with the things that I've finished and then the works in progress. And this time I would love to kind of chat about my birthday. Why? Because I'm drinking from this super cool mug that was gifted to me by my lovely, lovely friend Alanna, who is also a super talented knitwear designer and a wool shop owner here in Auckland, in Parnell, and she's the sweetest person, and she's also very, very thoughtful. So back in February, I had my 42nd birthday, and this time I decided to invite my knitting friends, because before, when the kids were a bit smaller, it was always like friends with kids that were always invited to my birthdays. And this time I was like, no, this time we'll do like serious grown-up chat. And yeah, I had, 4 yarny friends over. One of them was Alanna, and she was so sweet. She's gifted me this beautiful mug in the form of a strawberry, of course, and then a very, very nice birthday card, cut out birthday card, which I agree, it's like the most beautiful birthday card ever. And also a set, like a stationery set with little envelopes and cards that I love using. Like I'm I've been using them to give to friends or like include in parcels, and it's just so lovely. Thank you, Alanna. Thank you so much. And I really, really appreciate such a thoughtful gift. Oh, another gift that I got. I actually got lots of stuff. I got some chocolate, and I got some fibre and dye from Annette. Annette Montgomery is another fabulous designer and super cool fibre artist. She makes the most delicious yarn. She spins yarn. She dyes the fibre and then she spins it. And I think when you think about Twisted Sisters, that's her brand, you think about her beautiful beehive yarn, which you might have seen if you've seen me, the videos that I did at Woolfest previous years. So she knows that I like to try different sheep breeds, and we were talking about where I can find Finn wool, which is a breed of sheep. So she's found it for me and she's gifted it to me, and it's very deliciously white, and I just cannot get to it and dye it in all the kinds of beautiful, crazy colors. And also she's gifted me some turquoise dye, like for dyeing the wool. So that's gonna happen soon. Also, another wonderful friend, Cher, who is Waihipi on Instagram, and she also has a podcast, which she's so amazing. She's doing so well with publishing all the time something new and exciting, and definitely check her out. I will leave the link below. She was my yarn dye mentor, and she was the first one that showed me how to do it, basically. So her, Cher, and Annette are the two people that have taught me the ropes of yarn dyeing, and yeah, look what I am now. Thank you, girls. So Cher brought this darning mushroom, which is so cool, because when I was little, I remember my grandma always doing something, mending, ripping out sweaters, winding the yarn, like sewing something, patching something. So she had this little mushroom that she'd put on a sock and mend it, and she taught me how to mend as well. So that's a perfect gift for me. I didn't have one. And Cher also gifted me this wonderful little notions pouch, which is in a very cool shape. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she had it at the knitting retreat that we had last year as part of as an example of slow stitching. So what it is, it's like a square where you fold your corners to form this, could you call it a flower? Sort of like a tulip shape. Anyway, she's also included some very handy thread, and she knows that I started to do a little bit of sewing, so she's included these little clips. So how thoughtful is that, right? I'm so lucky to have such amazing friends who know me so well. Oh, and another, birthday present, acquisition, whatever you call it, was this little cute DPN holder made by my friend Evgenia, who is sewing the most like perfectly looking project bags for me. Well, she does a lot of them, and she goes to events, but she's in Christchurch and she doesn't have an online shop or anything. So I asked her, would you be interested in sending your bags to me so that I can put them on the website? And she did. So this came as a surprise from her, and it's beautiful, kind of Eastery fabric. It came right before Easter, I think. So perfect timing for my birthday. And I love it. Thank you, Evgenia. That's very thoughtful. So yeah, that was my birthday, and now we can very smoothly go into finished objects because they are also sewing. So once the school holidays, the summer school holidays finished, I went back to my sewing group here at the community center and I made some stuff. Actually, just a shout out, this fabric I got, I think I might have, no, I haven't shown you. Of course I haven't, because I got it, yeah, in the summer. This fabric is from the New Zealand Fabrics and Yarn shop, another wonderful yarn and fabric shop here in Auckland. And I just love like steampunk kiwis and pukekos and fantails. It's just so funny. So I made a little pouch that I wanted for like notions and things, and I was planning to put things like, you know, your scissors, your threads and things like that. And I think I wanted to make it maybe this tall, like a proper cosmetics pouch, but well, whatever. I'm just trying out the size that works, and the fabric inside is gold and what do you call them? Stars. Oh, another thing that I'm kind of proud of and kind of not is this see-through organizer, which was one of the projects for us to learn how to do some oh, what is this thing called? Bias. So the idea was very cool. I really loved this fabric and I wanted to use it and try out free motion quilting here. And I did. The only thing is I really was stupid enough not to check the direction of the fabric that I put. And also there's another thing that I'm not happy about here. Like that fabric got out, but on the whole, for this is quite fiddly, that see clear thingy. But I think, isn't it amazing to put your like projects that you're working on, and then it's probably best for like more flat things like cross stitching or something. But let's see, what if I put something like a bag in here? Definitely bag and meals, and you just plop it. Oh, it's even color matching. So anyways, really enjoyed making this one because I learned some new techniques and I love how I combined the colors. Just not so happy about the direction of this, but on the whole, it was a fun project to make. Another thing that I made, it's not sewing, is a pair of socks. And these are the ones that I told you about last episode, where I was talking about my try new to me yarn every month this year. This was a yarn by Gazal. It's called Happy Feet, and it was gifted to me by my wonderful friend Liana, who is in Russia. She's an amazing crocheter, and whenever my mom travels to New Zealand from Russia, she brings things to me and I send things to her, so we keep in touch. She used to live here in New Zealand, but yeah, we still keep in touch, and she's a very lovely designer as well, actually. She designed her own toys. Anyways, she's gifted me this yarn and I knit it up, and I quite like how these two socks turned out. It was a lot of fun to make. It was a very quick knit, and yeah, let's see if this is gonna hang here. Yeah, it works. There's no pattern for this. I make these socks all the time. It's just 60 stitches, and it's just something I have in my mind. It's like maybe a combination of different patterns that is not really a written out pattern, so not worth mentioning. That was my February yarn, new to me yarn, and this was my March new to me yarn, which is the Knit Circus yarns Never Enough Knitting that I showed you as a work in progress last time. I finished the hat. Shall I put it on? I think it turned out very, very nice. And I'm planning, so this was a gradient yarn, and I'm planning to make a little pom-pom because I really want to use all of this yarn, and I think a pom-pom using this leftover ball would look absolutely fun. So that's Rough Road Hat by, you can see it on the screen, and I made 3 of them. This was number 3, and number 2 was this one. No, I think this was number 1. Yes, this was number 1, and it was inspired by Mama Wooling, the yarn that, okay, so back in December, I think, or before, I really wanted to treat myself to something else other than Advent, and yeah, just spoil myself, basically. Anyways, Mama Wooling, not sure if her name is Sarah, I think it is. So Sarah had a product that is 4 skeins of yarn wrapped up individually, and she suggested that we open them on Christmas and then 1 week after that for about a month. And I thought, oh, what a cool idea. It's like every week you have something to look forward to, and it's a whole skein, so you can totally do something fun with it. Anyways, this was the first one that I opened. Oh, I can't remember the name of this colorway is on the screen, but she also sent out digitally suggestions, like pattern suggestions for what you can do with that yarn. And this is how I came across this wonderful pattern, Rough Road Hat. And I absolutely loved making this one because, first of all, somebody should trim these. Hey, come here, trim those ends. No, there's no one in this house who's going to do it. I have to do it. So I absolutely fell in love with this yarn and this pattern. And I don't know how she did such an amazing job of speckling it so evenly that, oh, it's just divine. Look at that. Oh yes, and I had some matching pom-pom, but she included a pom-pom with her package as well. But this one still needs to be sewn onto the hat, and I know how to do it. There's going to be a button, and like it will be a pom-pom that can be taken off while washing the hat. So yeah, that's another finished object, and the last finished, oh, actually 2. I'll come to that in a minute. Another finished object that is basically 2 days ago finished is this entrechat that I showed you last time. It's, I don't know how many I've made, maybe 8, 9, I don't know. So yeah, that's the next one that I did, and this one is in my hand-dyed yarn, and it's size 4. It's missing trimming the ends and a little button here, and then it will be off to the States for my little niece. I hope she likes it. It's shiny, it's pink, it's very girly, and I really like this pattern on this side of it. So this is going to be hopefully loved. So I guess it's time that we talked about what I'm wearing. So this is my recent finished garment, and I'm very, very proud of it because I usually tend to do quick knits so that it's finished faster and I can move on to something else and get my dopamine from that. But this time I luckily stuck to it and worked monogamously on it once it was past this stage. It's the Easy Breezy Tee by, oh, is it Breezy Sweater or Tee? By Libby Jonson. She goes by Truly Myrtle, and she's our New Zealand designer, quite famous around the world as well. For a good reason, she has amazing patterns, and I knit quite a few of them. I knit my floozy sweater, and then the floozy cardigan, and the timely, sorry, it was double time, and the shawl that you saw in the previous episode, the white and pink one that my daughter chose, that's by her as well. So it's a very interesting construction that I haven't done before. It starts with like little tiny pieces that are creating this nice shaping, because when I first made my garments, all I did was rectangles, and I kind of rectangle the back, rectangle for the front, rectangles for the sleeves, and I thought, okay, yeah, I made a sweater. Back then I was 20, so my body was quite forgiving for all kinds of crazy designing, and thankfully I've never done that before, after. And this design is just so clever, and this little ribbing here, ribbing kind of stitch, is perfect for, you know, to break up the simple stockinette stitch here. I used up my own hand-dyed yarn, and you can see that it's sort of different here, then it's different here and here. That's because I speckled this yarn and I wanted to alternate the skeins. So this first part is with one skein, then I tried to stripe them and then continue in the other skein. I think I used less than 3 skeins for the whole thing, even though my sleeves are quite, oh, what do you call them? Yeah, t-shirt length. I really loved making this, and I think I would make another one because once you've done all of the shaping, I just look at this slope here. I think it's so lovely. Yeah, all I can say is 5 stars for this pattern. Really loved making it, and I'm very happy to be wearing it to Woolfest this year. I always try to wear a new garment to Woolfest, which is our local annual yarn and fiber market, where, by the way, I will be trading, so please come and say hi. You will find me in Shed 1 probably, where I will be wearing this and luring you with all of the haunui that I have dyed for you guys. So that's all of my finished objects. Now I have just a few works in progress. I try not to have too many, but here they are. And then we will talk about some shop update and spinning. So the first, it's just very quickly, I'll mention it very quickly because I should have been finished by now with this one, but I'm not. What is it called? Salty but Fabulous yarn, and I called the socks Salty but Fabulous. First sock is done, second sock is on the toe decrease, but actually I talked about it in the previous episode. What I'm doing here is this is quite short, and because of the slip stitches here it's even shorter, so I made this one longer and I will re-knit the toe for this one. And this lives in a beautiful, beautiful bag made by Dani of the I Knit a Suitcase podcast. She's in Australia. And Dani, I love this bag so much, and I keep using it, if not for every project, then every other project. And my love note, which I don't even know if I mentioned, but I might have mentioned, lives in a bag by another friend, fiber friend of mine, Miriam. She used to be an indie dyer, now she's a weaver, and she wove this beautiful fabric and made a bag. And we did sort of like an advent swap a couple of years back. And this is my love note. Okay, so this neckline looks quite big, but I will make sure that I crochet or do something and pull it a little bit tighter. And I am almost done with the lace. I don't know if you can see, but there will be, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 petal, lace petal thingies. Well, not petal, what am I saying? Leaf motifs. So as you can see, there's one here, and the beginning of the other one. Oh, what's going on here? Hope it's not a hole. No, it just stretched out quite a bit. So there'll be more. It scared me. I thought I did something wrong. But yeah, it's a very open lace. So I don't know how I'll wear it. Probably something underneath for sure. Anyway, it's my hand-dyed yarn, which I showed you last time, I think. It's these two, this mohair and this New Zealand merino. I'm holding double. And hopefully once the lace is done, that will be a quick project to make. That's all of, oh, and the last one. And the last one is my third close to you shawl. And this one I cast on because we're doing sort of a knit along at our community center where me and some ladies who have been very, very kind to order some of my yarn, we're making some shawls, close to you shawls by Justyna Lorkowska. And although I've made 2 already, I like this pattern enough to have a go at a third one in this kind of boring color, but it's a very nice yarn. It's alpa silk blend of alpaca silk and merino that I have in the shop. So I think it will be very nice and drapey, and I kind of like the way I dyed it. Like, it's not just the blue color, you can see some white through it, and that's the silk that didn't take the dye. So that's a baby shawl happening here as well. Oh, in another bag by awesome Daniela from Australia, from Perth. Yeah, these bags just make me so happy. The fabric here is fantastic. So before we get into the spinning and fiber, I just wanted to quickly share some shop news with you because I've been working so hard and I've been so excited to share with you the new Advent theme for 2026. So I'm calling it the Enchanted Forest Adventure, and we're going to dive into it together, into this forest with its murky greens and mysterious purples and golden glowing toadstools and things like that. So you can kind of get an idea what color scheme I'm thinking of here, because last year my very first Advent, and thank you to everyone who purchased it, it sold out, and thank you so much. It was very colorful. There was a whole rainbow of colors, and it was sea themed. And this time I want to be a bit more maybe moody, dark, and have a bit more of sort of a fade happening. So the Enchanted Forest Advent is listed on the website. Please go check it out. 2 of them have already found their homes, and I've had someone from the States inquiring about it. For people who are outside New Zealand and Australia, please message me if you can't purchase it, because I have to figure out what to do with the United States, shipping to the States with the tariffs and everything, but I think it's possible. So we can make it work. Just message me and we will see how it goes. Okay? And other than the other than the Advent, I also have 3 clubs running. Just to remind you of what they are. There is New Zealand Nature Club, Fiber Club, where I send you a skein of New Zealand fiber. It's very often Hanui fiber, and a little like extra gift, like a chocolate or a stitch marker or some tape measure or something like that, just to make it a little bit more special. And it's New Zealand themed, so there's like a little letter saying like what my inspiration for that month was, and the May ones are already dyed and I cannot wait to send them to you. They're basically ready, I just have to package them. So another club that I have is Mermaid's Treasure, and it's been running for over a year now. And funny enough, yesterday on my stories I asked you guys if you want me to revamp it and change the theme, but 60% of you said no, keep it as is, and I'm happy to oblige because I love mermaids and I love the sea, and I think I haven't yet finished with this topic. So that yarn is also ready, and it's going to be shipped soon. So it comes in a set like this, and the base is different every month. I try to make things as fun as possible and to surprise you. So for example, for March, we had a tweedy sock base, which is merino nylon blend, but with a little bit of tweed. It's 10% nep yarn. See how those little flecks of color, they make the yarn sing. And I kept one of them for me because of course I had to. I'm really curious to see how this knits up. The thing is, with the yarn dye now, I find less and less time to actually use my yarn, even though like almost everything I dye I absolutely love and I want to put on my needles, but I just don't have the time. But in the future, and that's one of the previous colorways that I don't have the mini here because I have lots of other minis that I can combine. And this was the New Zealand sock base, which means 80% New Zealand merino, 20% nylon. So as you can see, they're different every time and it's a lot of fun. And the last club that we have is Once Upon a Mini, which is a little mini skein club where you get 4 mini skeins and a little surprise as well, where it's themed by a character, a fairy tale character. So in the very beginning of the year, I told you that I'm going to kind of travel, follow my journey. So for 26 years, I lived in Russia. That's where I was born. Then for 7 years, I lived in Turkey, where I worked as a teacher. And now I've been in New Zealand for 8 years. And I wanted to combine these 3 cultures and build a little subscription where each month you get a little bit information about a character from that culture and the mini skeins that are dyed based on those colors. So for example, one of the previous months was the Žar Ptica, the firebird, which is a very, very prominent Russian character in the fairy tales. And last month was the frog princess, Tsarevna Legushka, and it was this very interesting kind of fade of greens and a pop of gold for her crown. So that came with a cute little pin as well. So I think it's good value for what you get. You get a surprise, you get different bases again every month. You get the surprise colorway and a bit of information about that character. I think it's really fun for me to make these clubs, and I think for you too to receive them. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to them. You make this whole thing possible for me to go out of my comfort zone and to research more things and put them together for you. So now, shall we talk about spinning? Are we ready? Okay, well, last time I told you that I've done some spinning, and I want to show it to you today. That's the amount of spinning I have done. And probably shall we start with the this one. Last year I started one of it was spun last year as a single, and then I had to only spin the other, which was the teal Polworth, I think. What is it? Yeah, teal Polworth by Jambak Jumble. So I applied them this year. I finished spinning the Polworth and I applied them together, and I did sort of like a little tag here so I don't forget what it is. But the other ply was a blend of silk, sari silk, merino, and some other things. And this is my second skein of this blend. I have one more. God knows what I'll do with it. I just like spinning. This one is very special. This one, I think you saw me I talked about it before New Year, because I was going to finish spinning this gorgeous, luxurious Haunui blend of 60% Haunui 22 micron, 20% A1 grade mulberry silk, and 20% white baby alpaca. It's as delicious as it sounds. Just check it out. So when I dyed this fiber, I did 2 braids and I loved them so much that it was in the shop for like a couple of days, and then I took it out and I said, no, I'm spinning it myself. And my plan for this one is the jaunty shawl by Andrea Maury, who is running actually a SAL, which is a spin along, where you spin your own yarn and you make one of her patterns. Well, jaunty is the pattern I think that we're working. So this has to be caked and finally started and spun. I mean, can you feel, can you get a sense of how squishy and soft this fiber, yarn is? That's what I love about Haui Nui. It's like a pillow. It's a marshmallow. You know, something that you put in your mouth and it melts, or you take in your hands and it's sort of, just melts in your hands. So that was delicious to spin, absolutely divine. The next thing I did was these 2 skeins where I did 2-ply yarn using Jumbuck Jumble fiber blend. So Jumbuck Jumble is this carding company here in the north of Auckland where they process fleeces for anyone, and they sell their own Polworth and Corriedale and what else they have, I don't remember. But whenever they have any leftovers, they kind of jumble them all together and have this brown bags of like jumbles. And I love that idea. So I have these 2 skeins which will go into my Jumbuck Jumble blanket number 2. Tell you more about it later. And the last spin that I have for you here is something that I got from Bonnie from Union Fiber. Hi Bonnie, thank you so much. So on my birthday, my mom has gifted me some money because she has hard time choosing a present for me. I'm not an easy person to choose a present to, I guess, unless you're a fiber friend, then you know. Anyways, and then I went and I ordered myself some fiber from Bonnie. And I ordered 2, and then she kindly added one of them as a present. Bonnie, you're the sweetest. So they were 3 beautiful braids, and I had to spin one immediately because I wanted to. This is the Corriedale and nylon, New Zealand Corriedale and nylon blend, machine washable. And I spun it in March, right after my birthday, yes. And I never dye such moody colors as Bonnie. That's why I like shopping from her, because it's always so, just so deep and rich in color. Like mine is bright and happy and hers is like moody and very full of character, you know what I mean? So the other ones I got were, again, this one is a sock blend in this very interesting colors that I don't think I would have combined, but they look gorgeous together. And this one is New Zealand Corriedale untreated fiber that I think would look very, very fun as a fractal spin. There's no colorway name. It just says, let me just show you the label. That's what it says. And yeah, Bonnie is an amazing indie dyer as well, and she's also quite a very generous and kind human being. I'm very happy to have met her and to keep in touch with her. Right. So my spinning things have finished here. Oh, sort of spinning, not really, but also a finished object that I'm sitting on is this little thing. Actually a year ago, there was a video that I posted about this mystery yarn that I got gifted that was in these bags which had no labels other than one of them had the label 1979. So that's older than me, and I had it processed, carded, and washed at Jumbo Carding. And when I got this fiber, I didn't know what to do with it because it wasn't of the finest quality. And let's face it, I'm a fiber nerd, and I'm very spoiled by having all this 20 micron fiber next to me. So when I saw this, which is lovely wool actually, it would be nice for an outer garment or like slippers, felted slippers, whatever. But anyways, I wanted to try out and make us some little mats, you know, for the chairs or for when you sit in the car, just something to keep you warm during the winter months. So this thing just takes me like half an hour, maybe a bit more. And I just take the roving and I finger crochet it. So I do like a little chain, and then knowing how crochet works, I just work myself like a little square, sort of square. And I don't care how it looks as long as it's sort of in the shape that I want. So that's another thing that I did. Now it's too warm. And I made 3 of them for us, for the whole family. Everybody's got one. So that's a win-win for using that fiber. And I guess we are slowly getting into the shop update quickly, and then I want to show you some acquisitions, okay? So in the past month or even more, I have been dyeing fiber religiously, like every day. Almost every day, except for the days when I have to like do lots of housework and do lots of, you know, washing, which has to dry somewhere. So then I don't do the dyeing. But I've dyed over 4 kilograms of fiber and maybe 2-3 kilograms of yarn. And it's all in small batches, because what I like to do is just combine colors and see how they work. And I rarely do the same colorway every time, again and again, unless I'm asked to. And yeah, so I wanted to share some of that with you. Let's start with yarn, because I didn't bring much yarn because I wanted this to be fiber and spinning episode, but I still brought these guys. So in my shop right now, I have some boucle yarn that I'm bringing to you. Look how bright these are, and so happy, and they're all very different. So this one, still to be named, but I think something like a berry or flowery name would be great. If you have a colorway suggestion for this one, I'd be very happy to hear it if you put it in the comments. This yarn is very bouncy and very, very squishy, and I think it would make an amazing hood or a shawl or a cowl. And that's what I plan to do. I'm planning to take one of these and make myself a sample for Woolfest. That's my plans, future plans. And these 2 are DK weight. It's 100% superwash merino in boucle, spun as a boucle, and it's, I don't know how many meters, you see it on the screen. And this is the 4-ply one. And I have dyed 4 of them in the same colorway in case you want to do something big like a garment or something. And this one as well needs a colorway name. As for this one, this gorgeous one, this is going to be our Woolfest exclusive colorway. Normally I do an exclusive colorway for Woolfest, which is only sold at Woolfest. It's exclusive, and I only do it on the sock yarn. But this time I decided, no, why only sock yarn? So I have 5 on sock yarn and 2 on DK weight and a couple on, oh, actually 1. No, just 1 on the boucle base. Same colorway. As you can see, half of it is speckled, half of it is purple, but there is all these bright colors. And oh, actually, who knows? If this skein doesn't take your fancy during Woolfest, I'll be more than happy to take it into my own stash and make something fun for me or my daughters, because I just absolutely love these colors. I think they're so me, and I'm quite happy. I was always thinking, oh, I need to choose a colorway that would appeal to most of you, because some of you don't like colors that are too bright, some of you like moodier colors. I think this is very me. And that's not all of the yarn that I have. Trust me, that's the whole room that I have, like as in my office, is covered. The floor is covered with yarn that needs to be labeled, photographed, and posted on the website. But I just chose these two because they're sort of different from my usual thing. And this is my first attempt at dyeing brushed alpaca. I've been hearing a lot about how amazing alpaca is compared to mohair. I actually have no problem with mohair, but some people are allergic to it. So alpaca is hypoallergenic, so most people who are allergic to mohair, they can use it to make garments a little bit fluffier. Or if you want to do a quick project like what I'm doing with my love note, you can definitely, oh, wouldn't it be great to do a love note holding these two together, or having like one sort of more affordable commercial yarn together with this gorgeous alpaca. Anyways, I decided to add the new base to my shop, and I'll be bringing it to Woolfest as well. Right now there are these three, which I'm quite pleased with. Oh, I just love how, see the difference with mohair, let me see, where's the mohair, is that the silk makes the yarn a bit more shiny. See how it shines through the color of the mohair. Mohair is the wool in this blend, and the silk is the white. And compared to it, the alpaca is more muted and sort of soft looking, and also very soft to the touch, like it's like baby kisses. Yeah, when my daughter kisses me, that's exactly like that. No name for this one, but it reminds me of something like a mermaid. Mermaid kisses. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll call it, mermaid kisses. That's the yarn. Now, let's move on to fiber, because this episode's getting too big. The fiber that I have for you today is some New Zealand Haunui fiber. Well, actually, Haunui can only be New Zealand because it's a special New Zealand breed that only exists here in the South Island of New Zealand. And yeah, that's the same ones. I have dyed, as I said, around 4 kilograms of this fiber, and I'm not gonna stop because I just cannot stop. The only thing is I need to do probably one day, just spin some more, because it's so divine to spin. So in this shop update that is already live, there are some brown blends. This is her triple brown blend. Then there is the new Eclipse, which is 3-colored Haunui fiber, the dark brown, lighter, the white and the gray. So this one is that. Also, this is here as well. Let me just pull them all here. So these are it's called Artemis. It's her new blend, which is 20 micron, approximately 20 micron. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's my favorite one to work with at the moment. And this one got sold like minutes before I started to recording. So Jess said that she's been waiting for me to pop this in the shop so she can snag it. And I did, and she sold it. So this one is going away. But these guys, and also these two, let me quickly pop this here. These have just dried today. So of course that means I have to photograph them, label them, and name them. This one I have no idea how to name, but I'm quite happy with how this storm base has taken up the very light dyes. This one is the gemstones colorway that is so popular that I've dyed multiple times now on different bases, and I decided to dye it on Haunui as well. It's kind of harder to do it on Haunui because the colors mix so much, but I did it anyway, and I think it turned out so lovely. Oh, how about that? I feel like a queen. Yeah, I told you I'm a Haunui-holic, so yes, that's what I do. I frolic in all the fiber that I have. I know that sounds silly, I'm sorry. There's one more that I forgot to show you. That's another one in 3-colored Artemis base, 2021 micron. What did I say? It's called Going Fern It. You know, like go for it, go fern it. So these are my fiber and yarn, and still, I don't know if I showed it last time, but I introduced the chunky yarn to the shop, and this is going to become a hat very soon. Chunky yarn means it's 100 meters per 100 gram. So another sample for Woolfest for me to make, but this will be fast. Okay, reorganizing some things a little bit. Last thing I want to mention today is some of the acquisitions that I was lucky to acquire during this period of time since December, where I last, well, showed my acquisitions. There is a bit more, which I don't think I even remember what it was, but I go to this knitting group on Wednesdays, the lovely ladies of the Kaipatiki Spinners and Weavers group. And we have some really, really talented weavers and spinners and knitters. Spinners, weavers, knitters, yes. Anyways, one of them was destashing her things, and she brought like a whole pile of yarn that she said she no longer wants. And when I saw these Patterns Zanzibar sparkly things, which is mohair, what else is here? It's acrylic, wool, mohair, nylon, viscose, and polyester. I just liked it because it's so fluffy and sparkly and textured. And I think it will look amazing in a hat like this one. I think it would look absolutely wonderful, especially if I paired this thin thread with one of my decay weight or 4-ply ones. So I'm sure this will be enough, or I can just, you know, combine them together and make another hat. So there's 2 of each of these, and there was a little bit of that one left. I'm assuming this is what is left over from some of her weaving projects. And then there was this sparkly one that I just couldn't resist. This on its own can be like a extra thread to add to a very fluffy, maybe not to this one, but I don't know. Oh yes. The only thing is color-wise, I love how they look, but this thread is, I think, polyester. Oh, viscose and polyester, and it's not very soft to the touch, so I wouldn't want to pair it with this super tender and lovely alpaca. So I got that from a destash. Then I wanted to show you, because you probably haven't seen, last year I had Yaya Yarn Advent, which was Ghibli Studio themed, and I opened my minis, and oh my god, what a treat it was. It's always a treat to get every day a new little mini skein. Oh, the main skein was this, I think it's called Studio Ghibli, Spirit of Ghibli colorway. It's very... Caroline always does such an amazing job with speckling her yarns, but the best thing is it came with this stitch marker, which is in the form of a fishy. It's beaded, and I think she made them herself. And oh yeah, I have to think of something absolutely special to make with this yarn and with the Advent, but I just wanted to show you how beautiful she has dyed this yarn. Oh yes, and as I told you in the beginning of this video that I was I purchased the box from Mama Wooling, and there were 4 skeins. So you saw one of them knitted up into this wonderful hat. So there was more. There was a set of minis, which look beautiful, but I didn't feel very excited about them because they remind me so much of the minis that I dye myself. So I don't know what I will do with it. It's called Tangible Memory. Like literally I've dyed all of these colors myself, and I have them probably somewhere in the stash. That wasn't very exciting. Then the other 2 skeins were these 2. So one of them is this singles Petrichor extra fine merino 25% silk. It was a beautiful, beautiful, as you can see, variegated color. Well, not variegated, I would say it's just, yeah, variegated, what do you call it? And I think it went very well because it's the same colorway. This mohair silk yarn, and I think what she suggested is that we make a hat holding these 2 together, or a shawl. She was so good to send us some inspiration in terms of patterns and pictures and links to the Ravelry patterns to kind of help us choose what to do with these ones. And I was going to do a shawl, but I just froze. There are so many beautiful shawls out there, and I didn't know if I wanted to kind of hold them double or not and make myself a shawl that would have a bit of texture from mohair. Anyways, that's that. I have a feeling like there's something else. No, that's it from the Mama Wooling box. Oh, there was some chocolate as well. Yeah, it was nice. And the last acquisition that I want to show you is this gorgeous, gorgeous sort of like acorn gold that I got from a friend of mine that I met at the retreat last year. So Megan is, she belongs to the Morrinsville crafting group. I cannot remember the name of their group, but we became friends, well, acquaintances first, at the knitting retreat last year. And she was so kind that she's purchased some of my haunui, and she spun it and she showed it to me. And anyways, she said, oh, we're having a spin-in in January. Would you like to come as a trader? And I said, sure, why not? And then I thought more and more about it, and she was really kind to offer me to stay at her place, and which I was a bit reluctant to, but then she was very kind and very persuasive, so I agreed. Anyways, I went to Morrinsville and I stayed at her place, and we had lovely, lovely walk in the wood next to her house. And it was such a lovely area, so peaceful there. So as a bit of a thank you, I brought her a gift, and then I don't know why, but she felt like she was obliged to give me something in return, I think. Anyways, she gifted me this gorgeous yarn that she has dyed, and I think it's dyed on the golden stellina base. And it's this absolutely amazing golden brown that I don't have a dye for this. I think she might have mixed a couple of colors to achieve this. But I thought, oh my God, this would look amazing in like colorwork socks or as an accent. For example, it works well with teal or with charcoal. So if I had like a charcoal color, and then I could do like a 3-color shawl or do a color work. That's what I probably will do. But I think I might do a shawl with it because it's so pretty. So yeah. Oh no, I found one more last thing I want to mention. Actually, you guys, I just remember I cannot possibly show you everything that I acquired in this 4 months because there was more yarn for the shop and the fibre from Anna Grattan. And this reminds me, at the last spin-in that we had at the Pukikoi Hall here in Auckland, I met my friend Janine, who Was it there or not there? Anyways, she's an amazing sewer. I think I showed you already some of the bags that she made. So I saw her with this bag and I said, oh, could you please make me one? And she did. This would be what I will be using for Woolfest because it's perfect size for all the money and notes and stitch markers and coins and pins and things and wallets and phones and the keys. Instead of carrying something over the shoulder as I usually do, it kind of creates a not very interesting line across here. We don't want that. But this one's like a fanny bag. Works perfect for what I want, and she did an amazing job by combining the colors. Her handle is crafted stitch, and the quality of her sewing is just amazing as well. So yeah, I promise that's the last thing I wanted to share with you. So I hope that was interesting to you, and I hope you got inspired to make something, you got inspired to spin something, maybe you got inspired to try handdyed fiber, or maybe you want to join me in my challenge of trying out new yarns every month this year. Don't forget that I'm waiting for you at Woolfest on the 23rd of May. It's between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. at Kumeo Showgrounds. The entry is absolutely free. There's lots of food trucks, lots of fiber crafts, yarns, patterns, and lovely, lovely people. You will enjoy it immensely if you go, but come earlier. Just a tip. And if you would like to, if you've watched this far, then maybe you enjoyed this video and you could support this channel by sharing it with your friends or hitting the subscribe and like button, you know, all the things. But it just really means a lot because it helps me to be seen by other people, and you know how it goes. You meet more people through this channel and you make connections, and they might become some sort of collaborations in the future. Also, if you like my yarns and if you're a shop owner, we can talk about wholesale because that's what I do now. I try to do more wholesale. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful day. Bye. До свидания. Kakitiano.